Hello, guys, and welcome to Football Fandom UK. How's it going? So we're here to do um, to see what happens in the cup draw. Sorry, so used to doing the match watch-alongs just recently. Obviously, that was kind of stuck in my head for a minute then. But yeah, we're here to see what happens in the cup draw, fourth round draw, guys. Obviously, the draw's not quite with us yet. We just see what happens with the closing minutes of the game at Old Trafford with Man United and Aston Villa. But yeah, guys, want to hear from you, your thoughts on the cup so far. In the third round, obviously, we're wanting to see who gets who in the fourth round, but there've been some interesting games in the third round, and a few surprise results as well. So yeah, I'm not sure if you guys have been watching the Man United game, Aston Villa game that's on right now. Been quite an interesting second half. The first half I thought was quite boring, to be quite honest. Not a lot happening in it, but it certainly sprung into life in the second half. So just watching the last 15, 20 minutes of the game at Old Trafford. So I'll keep you informed if you're not watching it, let you know what's going on. But at the minute, it's 2-2 in that game. So this is the final game in the third round before we get the cup draw, which I'm sure you guys are well aware of. Um, so yeah, I'll come to your comments in a minute, guys. Just if you could, please do hit that like button and consider subscribing if you're new. See what if you like what we're trying to do, the Fandom project. We're still quite new on YouTube, so lots of work to do yet. But yeah, that would very much be appreciated if you guys could do all that good stuff. So yeah, with regards to the cup, guys, obviously, like I say, some interesting games. Like I say, I will come to your comments in a minute, guys. Some interesting results. Sorry, in the third round, I was a few shocks and a few penalty shootouts as well, as I'm sure you guys have seen. I was watching the West Ham Blackburn game yesterday. That was quite interesting, and what an amazing penalty shootout! It's mad how we get these penalty shootouts, and they seem to go on and on for quite a few goals, or shall we say, and that one finished 10-9, I think, if I remember rightly last night. So yeah. But yeah, I want to hear from you guys. What's your most what do you think is the pick of the round in the third round? What game do you think was is the most surprising? And who do you think out of the lower leagues can go the furthest? Because we still got a few teams involved that are obviously not Premier League clubs. So obviously there's still potential for a few more cup upsets later in the competition, guys. So yeah, I'd love to hear from you. Your thoughts, like I say, on all the games so far. Obviously, Arsenal getting knocked out by Brighton is one that stands out to me. Um, I think Arsenal may be a little bit too focused on the league because they're doing so well in the league, and maybe not took the challenge that Brighton would bring to the table in the cup as seriously as they needed to. So they're out of it, which is obviously a bit of a surprise for most. But in fairness, Brighton have been having a pretty good season and been playing well over the last few seasons. To be fair, obviously the managerial change that they've had to make this year will be interesting to see if they can do that and keep that running. But they seem to be doing okay since the manager change. And like I said, guys, plenty of question marks as far as Arsenal are concerned with that game. But respect to Brighton, you have to give credit to the opposition, and maybe Arsenal didn't give them enough consideration. So yeah, let's see what you guys are saying in the chat, guys. If you could please hit that like button. It helps with the algorithm on YouTube. So obviously, we want more fans to see what we're trying to do. So if you guys could hit that like button, it'd be very, very much appreciated. So today we've got Toby in the chat. How's it going, mate? Welcome to chat, new face or new person. So great to see you in getting involved, mate. What football team do you support? I'm a Bolton fan, mate. I'm a Bolton fan, but I love football. I just love football. Obviously, I support my club and I'm loyal to my club when it matters, when they take the field. But I just love football, mate. And that's why I'm building Fanden. Uh, and for fans, it's nothing to do with my specifically to do with my club. Obviously, we'll cover some Bolton stuff on the channel along the way, of course. But like I say, the channel is about fans, not about my club. But yeah, my club, mate, is Bolton. What club do you support, mate? If you're still on the chat, let us know what club you support. You you support. Be great to hear from you. And obviously, we were wanting to hear from more fans from different clubs, so that's always good if you're supporting a club that or even a club that some of the fans already support that support the channel and get involved. But yeah, let me know, mate, if you're still there. Like I say, love to hear from you. Thanks for that, Toby. I'm having to get used to this here. That's it. Forget that you have to double click it on this on this uh, on this stream site. So sorry about that, guys. So yeah, Stephen Allen. Hi, guys. How's it going, Stevie? Thanks for dropping in the chat. Great work, obviously, guys, that Stevie does behind the scenes. Obviously, moderating to make sure we keep the chat positive for you guys to enjoy being involved. Because on YouTube, you can get a lot of spam and a lot of unnecessary comments coming in the chat. So Stevie doing a great job there in the background to keep the chat clean and positive for you guys to enjoy being involved in Fanden. So yeah, I'm good, Stevie. Hope you're good, mate, and thanks for that. Lionel Thompson, Gaz is a Bolton Wanderers fan supporter. Yeah, that's it, mate. Obviously, that's my club. So obviously, I'm sure you guys obviously know Bolton quite well. But like I say, new fans always ask. That's one of the first questions new fans always ask. What club do you support? Which obviously doesn't bother me too much. But like I said, the channel's more about you guys. It's not about my club. So just always have to make that point, unfortunately. But yeah. Lionel saying, hi, guys. Managed to make it for a bit. Really excited for this draw. Yeah, thanks, mate. Obviously, I get that some of you guys might not be able to stay long because it's a weekday. So some of you guys got college, school, work commitments tomorrow. So understandable if you can't get the support. So thank you very much for that, Lionel. Don't stay up to shoot off, but thank you very much, mate. Always appreciate your support when you come on the channel or whenever I catch up on see you interacting on social media, mate. Always appreciated. Guys, just to let you know, we hit a new milestone today. Oh, and there's another goal for Man United, so it's now 3-2. So United turned it round, going behind twice. They went behind 1-0, then equalised, and then they went behind again 2-1 with an own goal, and then equalised, and now they're 3-2 up, guys. So I'm sure some of you are watching it. But yeah, Manchester. I'm quite shocked at United's performance in this, to be honest, because I thought they'd come out all guns blazing, because obviously they lost to Villa in the league. So you would have thought they would have come out and wanted to make an impact and a statement in this game. But yeah, they've been obviously they were in winning position doing it, and they're in the game. But that first half, I don't know if you guys saw it, it was pretty bad. But luckily, the game sprung into life literally pretty much from the first whistle in the second half. So yeah, always good to see. You always get that, guys. Sometimes I'm sure you guys are well aware where you get games or even half a game, full games. Where it's just like, what is going on? You know, the players know they're in a game here or what. So yeah. That's where I was up to. I can't get used to this streaming site. Sorry, guys. It's you have to. Is it showing it? There we go. You have to. I have to double click it to get it to show you comments, and I'm gonna look for another one. If I think we'll have a look some other ones because, like I said, this one, this streaming site is good. It is. There is good aspects of it, but it seems a little bit more complicated to use compared to other ones that I've tried, particularly the ones we've used quite a lot, which obviously you guys are well aware of. So yeah, apologies if I'm not clicking your messages correctly on the screen. It's like I say, you've got to double click it on this, so I need to remember that because on the other site that I use, it's just one click and it comes up straight away. So yeah, and kind of need to use two that are the same ideally, so I don't get confused with it. So yeah, guys, as I said, Man United 3-2 up in this. Just to let you know, guys, I will come back to comments in a minute. Just to let you know, we hit another milestone today for Fandom, which is pretty awesome. We've hit 1,000 followers on Facebook, which is good. Started doing that last year on Facebook, and I've been pushing along with it. It's been a lot of hard work, to be quite honest, because it's just it's pretty similar to Instagram, where you know if you want to get new people to attract to it, you just got to keep plugging away at it. So yeah, I've stuck with it and I've kept plugging away at it, and finally we've hit our first milestone on Facebook. So we have 1,000 now following on Facebook, which is cool. Obviously, a lot more milestones to reach, but that's just a good one that I thought I'd share with you guys. So only 10 minutes, just 81 minutes gone in this game, guys. So we'll be getting to the cup draw shortly. Obviously, we have to, as I'm sure you guys are aware, the cup draw is coming at the end of this game. So yeah, we'll get to that shortly. But I want to hear your thoughts, guys. Let me know your thoughts on any of the games you've seen this week, or league games, or any football topics you want to talk about. Obviously, we've got the World Cup coming up, and in the next week or two. So in next week or two, it's going to start be switching to the World Cup from obviously from club football. So that's going to be interesting. So yeah, I want to hear your thoughts on what you guys have thinking with regards to the closing of the Premier League, stuff like that. So yeah, Toby, I'm a Liverpool fan. All right, cool, mate, cool. I don't mind Liverpool. I know a lot of fans, not big fans of Liverpool fan base because the fans can be a little bit salty sometimes. But overall, I like the club. I like the way it's going. We will be doing a bit of a talk hopefully sometime soon about Liverpool because there's quite a bit to discuss. Obviously, with Liverpool and the ownership stuff that's been announced recently. So at some point soon, hopefully, I'll try and get to that, and we'll have a good debate about that. See what you guys think about that some more. Because there's a lot that we got to talk about that sort of stuff more over the next year or two, guys, because it's becoming a new news article in it with these football clubs now starting to be treated. Our football clubs starting to be treated like rich man's toys. It's getting like that now. But yeah, Liverpool is a fantastic club. Really, obviously passionate fan base. And I've got to be honest, I like Klopp. I like Klopp a lot. And as I was growing up, as a young adult, shall we say, I was always a big fan of Stevie G. I love his loyalty to his club. What I remember about Stevie G, what makes him one of my favourite players, is the fact that a lot of big clubs came looking to get him, but he stayed loyal to Liverpool all the way through his career. And I'm sure he was tempted to leave a few times with some of the money that was being offered to him and contracts and stuff like that. But he stayed loyal to the club that he loves, and I admire that. I do admire that. So yeah, I've always had a little bit of an eye on Liverpool for quite a lot of time, simply because, like I say, Stevie G is a player I like. So yeah. But yeah, mate, love to know your thoughts on this season. Like I said, because it's not been your normal season for Liverpool this season. So let me know your thoughts. If you're still there, mate, it'd be great to hear from you. Lionel Thompson knocked us out the Carabao Cup last night, mate. Only just, yeah, absolutely, mate. Derby, I've watched some of that game, and Derby did play really, really well. I was impressed with Derby, and if you guys can use what the positive, there's plenty of positives to take out of that game for Derby, mate. So if your players can use that, or your manager can use that to motivate the players in the league, which you should be able to do, because the players should be proud of themselves, and that result. Even though you're out of the cup on unluckily on penalties, which is always a cruel way for any club to go out of the competition, maybe with the exception of Man City. But yeah, for me, I thought you guys played really well. You should be proud of yourselves. You went to Anfield, you got a 0-0 draw, and there's many clubs that have gone to Anfield and struggled to even score a goal, or struggle to keep the back door shut. So yeah, a very impressive performance from Derby, and like I said, hopefully that has a knock-on effect to your league form, and you guys give some belief. Hopefully, give some belief to the Derby players that they can achieve more, and go for it this season with the rest of the games in the league. Because Derby, let's be honest, there's big clubs, there's small clubs, and all clubs can achieve things that they don't believe that they can achieve. But let's be honest, Derby is a little bit of a sleeping giant in League One. So they definitely can be pushing up the leagues more, and definitely should be mixing it up in the Championship. And I think they will eventually. Just like I say, it's a bit of a reshuffle for you guys at the minute, with obviously what's happened with the ownership and stuff like that. So yeah. But thanks for that, Lionel. Obviously, like I say, I'm sure you're disappointed, but you should still be proud, mate. It was a great performance, and like I say, hopefully the players use that to motivate them in the league. Aaron Hart, all right, guys, mate. How are you doing? How are you doing, pal? Yeah, I'm good, thanks, mate. I'm a little bit not with it tonight, just because I've had a bit. As you know, I've had a week off from streaming, not because I wanted to, but more because just things kept happening that I couldn't get out of, to do with work commitments and stuff like that, which was really frustrating, because obviously trying to get a bit more consistency now with the channel. But not to worry, one of them things, just one of them things. But yeah, I'm good, mate. Hopefully you're all right. I know you were, last time I spoke to you, I think you were a bit frustrated with Dundee United, which was understandable. But yeah, hopefully you're all right, mate. And let me know any thoughts you got on the World Cup, because I'm interested to hear from Scottish fans. Obviously, you guys not being involved, which I'm disappointed about, guys. I've got to be honest. I'm disappointed that Scotland are not involved in the World Cup, because they would have. Can you imagine it? Bagpipes and stuff like that being played in Dubai. Sorry, in Qatar. Sorry, that'd have been awesome. That'd have been something different, something unique. And Scotland fans always get into the party atmosphere when they're involved in tournaments. So for me, it's a bit disappointing. But yeah, Aaron, I want to hear from your thoughts on the World Cup, mate. How far do you think England can go? How far do you think Wales can go? Obviously, we'll be particularly watching them teams because they're UK nations. But yeah, and also, any of you guys want to know your thoughts on the World Cup coming up? What's your thoughts on it? Who do you think's going to win it? Are you happy about it? I want to know your thoughts. Are you happy about what's going on with the Winter World Cup? Because this is the first time we've had one. So yeah, just chucking it out there, guys, because obviously we will be starting to switch to League Cup football. The World Cup football very soon, as we close out. Well, obviously, I'm sure that there's still league football going on in the lower leagues, but the Premier League, and I think the Championship closing down as well for the World Cup. So yeah, let me know your thoughts on anything to do with UK football or the World Cup, guys. Lionel Thompson, information group members. Like information group members of updates why you're busy, Gaz. I'm sorry, you confused me with that, mate. Like information group members of updates when you're busy, Gaz. I'm presuming you may be talking about the groups on Instagram, mate. I'm confused. You have to clarify that a little bit, Lionel. I'm not following you, mate. Sorry. Apologies about that, but I'm not understanding what you're getting at. So I don't want to comment because I might be commenting wrong. So yeah, if you could let me know if you're still there, mate, just so I can understand your comment a bit better, mate, would be appreciated. Uh, Hello, Aaron. Out, yeah, you guys talking amongst yourself. That's always awesome to see. Uh, come on, come on, Man United. Obviously, yeah, Aaron, a big Man United fan. Yep. Looks like you guys might be going through to the next round of if the score stays the same way. But yeah, I'm sure you share my confusion, mate, Aaron, with regards to United starting this game. Do you not think the first half was a bit shocking? You know, I'm not wanting to criticise unfairly, but I thought both teams were really poor in the first half. Um, not enough. It's. I mean, obviously, like I said earlier, it sprung into life. Oh, there's a fourth goal for United. A little bit of a cheeky one, that, to be fair. So yeah, United into the next round by the looks of it now. So it's now 4-2 to Man United and 4 minutes added on time. So yeah, but yeah, Aaron, want to hear from you, mate. What did you make of the first half? Bit disappointing, I thought, but luckily the game sprang into life in the second half. Um, but yeah, um, I was quite shocked because I was expecting United to come out all guns blazing after after the game in at the weekend in the league. So yeah, love to know your thoughts, Aaron, on that, mate. Obviously, I know you're buzzing that United win, but I want to hear from you guys when about your clubs when they're playing. What your thoughts on it? How they playing? And your thoughts on the tactics, formation, mentality, all sorts of things like this, because that's how we get some great debates going. If you guys share your thoughts on how the team's playing and even things like the atmosphere, stuff like that, like I say, that's the whole reason why we do the live streams, guys, to hear your thoughts. But obviously, always buzzing to see you guys happy when your team is doing well and getting either points on the walkboard or into the next round of competitions. But yeah, thanks for that, Aaron. Lionel is saying, I'm all right, thank you, Aaron. Hope you're doing well. I'm really glad seeing how involved you are with fandom like me. Yep, absolutely. Like I say, you guys give some absolutely fantastic support, and I really appreciate it. So yeah, thanks for that, Lionel, mate. Glad to see you guys obviously getting on in the chat as well. Always appreciate that because, like I say, if I can get fans to support the channel and be involved, that's great. But I also want you guys to get to know each other and enjoy building new football friendships, so you can enjoy great debates and stuff with each other. Because there will be times in the future when I'm sure you come up against each other's teams for a variety of reasons. Obviously, I know in the Scottish League it's a little bit more difficult coming up against English teams, but it does happen. It happens a lot of friendlies in the summer where you get English and Scottish teams playing each other. So yeah, always like I say, always great to see you guys getting on in the chat and making friends and like I said, becoming mates. Hopefully, Aaron's saying thank you, mate. I love the idea. Um, the channel, it's very different but amazing, mate. And you're involved as well. Yeah, I'd like to say, thanks for that, guys. Really appreciate the positivity. Like I say, it's a lot of work to do yet. We're just getting the ball rolling at the minute. Hopefully, like I say, you guys will be able to see in the months ahead, hopefully, a little bit more of the direction I want the channel to go in. But like I said, at the minute, having to put, excuse me, having to put a lot of work, a lot of time and effort into just getting fans finding us because, like I said, there's a massive fan community out there, and we're only just scratching the surface at the minute. So, like I said, gotta build up more of the fan community around the project. But like I say, your support and positivity from you guys is fantastic and always appreciated. So thanks for that, Aaron and Lionel. Really appreciate it, guys. Yeah, mate, I'm a Man United fan. Yeah, I'm aware of that. I'm presuming you're talking to Lionel. Did I miss a comment then? Nah, I think I read that one, did I? We just got a free kick here for United guys, which probably be close to the full time whistle now. Yep, there you go. Referee's just blown the full time whistle. So United through to the next round, which I'm sure Aston Villa fans won't be too disappointed with because as much as they would have liked to have stayed in the cup, I'm sure it's probably better in a way, a little bit of a blessing in disguise for Unai Emery because he's got obviously he's only just come through the door in the club, and he's going to have his own ideas that he wants to get across. And as we know, guys, good coaches to get their ideas across to the players, they need time on the training ground to get them ideas across. And the more time they get on the training ground, the quicker they can get them ideas across and get the tactics across to the players, and start getting the players playing how the manager wants them to. And I'm sure, in a way, Unai Emery is probably buzzing in a way because being out of the cup now kind of means that he'll have a bit more time with the players in the new year when the competition kicks off again. Well, I think it. No, it's good. I think I've got another round in December. I'm not sure because they've moved the fixtures all over the place this year, so it's kind of getting quite confusing because it's not following its normal pattern that it normally does. But yeah, like I said, I'm sure he's just going to be glad to have the time on the training pitch rather than going another round because he's only just walked through the door, so he's going to want to get his ideas across to the players. So maybe a blessing in disguise for Aston Villa, but they probably won't think that right now. But I think in the long term that could be a positive because, like I said, he's going to the quicker he gets his ideas across to the players, the quicker he's going to get the players playing how he wants. Um, so yeah, Aaron is saying thank you, mate. I love the. Oh, did I just read that comment? I did. I think. Yeah, I did, didn't I? Yeah, so obviously Lionel just saying there, fair enough. Really like Man United, always have done. As a Derby fan, I always have other likings to clubs that I respect. Obviously, not support. I've got my main club to support only. Support one club. Yeah, that's fair enough, mate. I think to be fair, mate, I think we're all most football fans are like that. I think you support your own club, but there's always clubs that you like as well. You know, you might not support them, but there is other clubs that you like for whatever reason. I think that just goes with being a football fan, doesn't it? It's just part of the course. I think, like I said, I think we've all got other clubs that we have a bit of a soft spot for, mate. So yeah, that's totally understandable. But yeah, thanks for that, Lionel, mate. So yeah, the cup draw should be coming up in a few minutes, guys. So yeah, going to be interesting to see what happens in the draw. I'd love to see one of the lower league clubs get a good draw so they can make some money. That's what I always look for in the cup competition. Sorry, in the cup draws. I always want to see that lower league clubs get the chance to make some money because we all look. Don't get me wrong, guys. We all love the rivalries and the banter and all that in football, but we want to keep the leagues healthy, and the only way to keep the leagues healthy is if some of this huge money that is splashed around in these competitions filters down to the lower leagues. So it gives balance so that these lower league clubs that are really struggling for money can have a chance of getting their hands on a little bit extra revenue that they don't normally get. So for me, yeah, guys, I'll be hopefully looking to see that some of the lower league clubs get a good draw in this one and potentially get some extra money to help them out. Um, see what you guys are saying in the chat. If you're just joining us, guys, please do hit that like button. It'd be appreciated. Um, Lionel is saying, but I respect all fans in fandom, no matter what club they support. Absolutely, Lionel. You guys have been showing some amazing support on the channel, on social media, and like I say, mate, it's always appreciated. Right, so let's get some footy chat going, guys, because I'm starting to feel like I'm just repeating myself here. um, Aaron is saying, yeah, I respect a lot of teams. Um, I don't really hate any clubs. I only maybe don't on match day, but then I'm back. Just why does it always cover that word up? Respect them. I'm just passionate on match days. Absolutely, mate. You're allowed to be. You're allowed to be. When you're supporting your own club, you're allowed to be passionate, and obviously nobody's going to criticise you too much for having a bit of banter and being loyal to your own club on a match day. But yeah, absolutely, mate. In the time that I've got to know you, you definitely seem to be a true football fan that just likes, but loves football and is passionate to enjoy the game. Obviously, supporting your own club, but also just watching other clubs as well. From what I've seen, so yeah. That's what we like, guys. We just a lot of us are like that. A lot of people like that. Just love football and just like I say, you guys that know me know my club's Bolton. There's nothing good than watching a game. Sometimes you can sometimes watch a game, and this is being totally honest. You can watch a game between two teams that you don't support either of them, and you can actually enjoy watching it sometimes more than watching your own club, just because it can be an exciting game. And it's not necessarily because you want either club to win. It's just because it's end to end, lots of action. For me, one competition that always comes to mind is the Champions League because obviously there's a lot at stake in that competition with respect of the prestige more than anything. Obviously, we know there's a lot of money involved in that competition, but I think for the players, it's more about prestige. So yeah, that always seems to bring that um, extra yard of pace, shall we say, from some players. So yeah, but thanks for that, Aaron, mate. Like I say, always great to see you guys talking in the chat. PFC underscore DY4 is Dylan. Hi guys, how's it going? I'm good, mate. Good. Thanks for asking. Hopefully you're all right, mate. And thank you very much for dropping in. Always great to see you. I hope everything's going well with you, mate. I know you've had a busy couple of weeks. And yeah, like I say, love to know your thoughts on the cup draw, on the World Cup, anything you want to talk about with lots of football to come. But thanks for that, Dylan. Appreciate you dropping in, mate. Always a pleasure to see you drop in and get involved in the chat. Dylan is saying, if you guys wonder who I'm saying, Dylan, PFC underscore DY4 is Dylan. Interesting results this week. Mate, absolutely. I was just saying that at the beginning of the stream that there's been some absolute cracking results, and for me, I was saying earlier that the biggest surprise one was probably Arsenal v Brighton. I'm glad to see Nottingham Forest get into the next round because I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but whenever a club comes up from the Championship into the Premier League, it seems to give them a bit more belief and a bit more um, success when it comes to the cup competitions. Obviously, the league's different. That's just a constant battle for any club. But I don't know. It's noticeable just how much it gives clubs a bit of a spring and a bit more motivation when it comes to the cup competitions when they get promoted to the Premier League. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that clubs that are in the lower leagues can't do well in the cup, but it seems to be noticeable that a lot of clubs that do come up seem to do okay. Once in a while, we get clubs that have a good cup run on the back of it. Maybe that's because it's a good distraction from the league. Because obviously, Nottingham Forest really having to scrap for every point that they can this season because they're obviously finding it quite difficult in the Premier League, which is understandable because they got promoted through the playoffs, so they had a lot less time to plan for the season ahead. But yeah, maybe that's why it gives them an extra bit of a spring in the step because the pressure's off a little bit in the cup compared to the league. So yeah, I'd love to know your thoughts on that philosophy or that theory, should I say? Um, but yeah, guys, like I say, let me know your thoughts on any of the cup draw predictions. You want to predict any game, any draws, or and your thoughts on any of the games that have already happened in the third round. Dylan is saying, "What do you make of League One so far, mate? Ipswich are doing well, and Bolton are putting some good performances. Performances. Where sorry, performances together. Unlucky with Barnsley result though. Yeah, absolutely. Well, to be fair, mate, my concern with Bolton is that we'll end up in the playoffs. I know some fans like play. I don't want to go in the playoffs. I don't. I really don't. I'm. You know, if we get in the playoffs as a Bolton fan, I'll be supporting my club. Of course, I will. But for me, a club the size of Bolton, Portsmouth, Derby, these kind of clubs, they shouldn't be settling for second best in the playoffs. You should be pushing to win the league for me, because we're not. You know, we're not in the Premier League. This is League One. So you know, why should clubs like Bolton, Portsmouth, and Derby and Ipswich, these kind of clubs, why should they be not pushing hard to get promoted via winning the league, an automatic promotion rather than the playoffs? Um, I get the playoffs, but no, for me, I'll be a little bit disappointed if Bolton get promoted through the playoffs. I'd rather see them just go for it, just go for it, win the league. You know, we're a club that should be able to challenge to win this league. And if you know if we can't, then I'm sorry, but that's disappointing because, like I say, it's not the Premier League; it's League One. With all respect, a club like Bolton should be able to be up there challenging. I'm not saying we should have definitely win it, but we should be up there in the mix. But yeah, that's just my thoughts. Maybe that's just years of watching Bolton and frustrated at the lack of silverware that I want to see my club just win something significant because a League One trophy, you know, it might not be the best league to win, but it's still a significant trophy to win because it's a league trophy. So yeah, so hopefully that's some a little bit of a little bit of interesting insight into my football thinking for around my club, and love to know what you guys make of that. Where was it up to then? Right. So yeah. Sorry. So thanks for that, Dylan. I'm not sure. Did I, I was up to that one. So you know, this is so confusing. This streaming site. Um, so yeah, thanks for that, Dylan, and hopefully that answers your question, mate. Um, Aaron is saying it's been a bit dodgy for United recently, but yesterday we got a fantastic result vs Kilmarnock, beating them 4-0 at home. I thought when you said United, I thought you were meaning Man United. Then I was so yeah. I'm glad you clarified that with the comment about Kilmarnock, mate. But yeah, um, like I said, Aaron, I think you guys. I'm sure I've said this to you before, mate. I think you guys just need to focus 100% on just establishing yourself as a Premiership club in Scotland, and then think about bigger and better things. I'd love to see you guys do more, obviously, but with your club. A little bit restricted financially. I think the best thing to do is for the club to just focus on survival and keep trying to improve and keep trying to push to become a permanent Premier League club. And I think you can achieve that. I think you can. I know I've had a tough season so far, but I think Dundee are well and truly capable. Sorry, Dundee United. Correction, Dundee United. Well and truly. Capable of becoming a permanent Premiership club in Scotland. No question. Uh, the only question exists around the finances because you guys just struggle so much financially that it makes it really difficult for you to invest in better players to make you be where you deserve, in my opinion, and that is in the Premiership for certain. So yeah, but like I said, mate, keep the faith. Hopefully, it will turn out to be a building season, if nothing else, and you guys manage to achieve staying in the league. Because, like I say, you never know, mate. The second half of the season still to come, and Dundee United could easily put a run of a winning run together and get yourselves up that league table. Um, so just let you know, guys, I think Marcus Rashford's been awarded man of the match in that game. I think. So yeah, that's just a little bit of interesting information for you. But yeah, not sure when they're doing the cup draw, but hopefully we're getting started in a few minutes. I'll certainly let you know as soon as it comes on. But until then, I'll keep reading some of you guys' comments. Guys, also, if you could, please do hit that thumbs up. It'd be really appreciated. And if you're new, consider subscribing. Give us a chance. See if you like what the Fandom project is about. Aaron is saying, I can see England getting to the semi-finals of or the final. Their teams, their team is very good, and I think even with all the criticism, Gareth Southgate picked a good squad to take to the take on the plane as well. Right, sorry, you threw me off with that. Yeah, I'm not. My only problem with the team that Southgate has picked is I'm a bit unsure about Harry Maguire being captain. I'm not sure if it's definite, but I've heard that he's going to give captaincy to Harry Maguire, and I'm not too sure about that. It's not that I don't think doesn't deserve captaincy. It's nothing to do with that. I think he's had a tough couple of years, and I don't think he needs that pressure because he's had a tough couple of years. When the player's having a tough time, just take the pressure off. Keep him playing by all means, but take the pressure off. And if the player's a captain, sometimes you have to take that into consideration. Does he really need that extra pressure of being the England captain after the tough couple of years that he's just been through when he needs to be concentrating on a game? For me, I think that somebody else should have been selected as captain. Maybe Jordan Henderson because he's got a lot more experience of it. He's a bit older. And he's also learnt to deal with the criticism. I think considerably better than Harry Maguire from my viewpoint. Anyway, but yeah, other than that, not too much criticism about the squad. I'm not a big fan of Gareth Southgate, to be fair, but that's not nothing to do with the teams he selects. That's more about my opinion of the FA and the kind of managers that they like to pick. But yeah, I'll be honest. I would love England to win the tournament. I would absolutely love, but I don't know how many of you guys are older or younger. But I'm going to let you into on a little secret here about England. What worries me about going into this competition and the World Cup. England, in my whole life of watching England, whenever England play in a hot country, they struggle. So forget what team they play, forget how good the players are. I'm just pointing out one simple thing that has been obvious for years that I've been watching football, and that is that whenever England play in a country that has hot weather like it is in Qatar, they struggle. So that is my biggest concern, guys. And I know there's air conditioning in some of these stadiums. I'm not sure if they've all got air conditioning, but I know quite a few of these new stadiums that they built over there have got air conditioning. But even still, I'm still concerned about it because I just know I've been so excited for England in previous competitions in years gone by and just watched them flop because they don't play well in hot weather. Let's be honest, England players are just not used to playing in that kind of heat. They're just not used to it. When we played in Brazil, they struggled to deal with it. We got knocked out of the group stages. When they played in South Africa, they struggled to deal with it. All right, we got further along in that tournament, if I remember correctly, but they still didn't go far because they struggled to deal with the heat. And then I can't remember. There was some tournaments when I were younger as well, and the same thing. Struggled to deal with the heat. So that's my biggest concern for England in this competition. How the Welsh will get on, whether they'll deal with it better, I don't know. But I'm telling you now, guys, go and look it up. There's loads of older football fans that I'm sure will share my viewpoint on that. That England struggle in hot weather. Um, but yeah, like I said, that's just my opinion. But hopefully, I'm proved wrong. Let's hope that England do go over there and have a good tournament, and hopefully Wales as well. But yeah, like I said, that's my biggest concern. So let me know your thoughts on that, guys. If you share my opinion, or you think I'm maybe worrying about something that maybe might change with this competition, because obviously, like I said, apparently a lot of air conditioning been built into some of these stadiums, but even still, there's only so much you can air condition, and I think there's only two of the stadiums that got closed roof. Closed roof. So if there's only two stadiums that close the roof, then the other stadiums cannot benefit from air conditioning, can they? So yeah. Um, Thanks for that, Aaron. And Aaron is also saying, I do think Argentina will win it or Brazil. No, I can't. I can't see Brazil winning it. And the reason I can't see Brazil winning it is because of Neymar. I think he'll do something, get himself sent off, or he'll do something to be the big I am, and he'll probably deflect from the team and cause some sort of mad media debate around himself rather than the team. So no, I think I can understand your thinking, mate, but I don't think Brazil are as good as what they have been in previous tournaments. They're still a good team. Don't get me wrong; they've got some fantastic players, but I don't think they're quite as good as what they have been in previous tournaments. Argentina, good shout. I'm not sure on their team, to be quite honest, how they're developing, but yeah. They're both good shout, mate. They're both nations that are capable of winning it, as we know. Um, um, but yeah, for me, just on a personal note, I just think that that Brazil are just a little bit off the pace to what they used to be. And it doesn't help when you've got players like Neymar that are a bit in love with themselves. Because let's be honest, you know he's too in love with himself. That lad. If he put the same effort into playing football as what he does into loving himself, then he'd be the best player in the world right now. But he doesn't. He's too much trying to showboat and stuff like that and be the big I am instead of just concentrating on playing good football. So yeah, as you can tell, guys, I'm not a big Neymar fan at all. Aaron is saying, if you're English, what's everyone's opinion on the England squad to take to Qatar? Love to hear your thoughts. Absolutely, mate. Yep, I totally agree. I'd love to know what everybody's opinions are on uh, on the England squad. Like I say, for me, I gave my opinion on it earlier. Not too much. I've got not too much to complain about, to be honest, mate. My only concern is about Harry Maguire being captain, but other than that, I'm pretty happy with it, to be honest. Well, I wouldn't say happy, but we'll see how it performs. I'm glad to. I'm glad to see one or two new faces in the team as well. That's good to see because nothing wrong with taking players along that have played a lot for England. But you always want to be keeping players on the toes and putting one or two new players in that haven't had the same consideration. Um, Aaron, yeah, I agree. We were very poor uh, in the first half, but we have risen in the second half, and we're playing brilliant. Yeah, absolutely, mate. I presume talking about Man United now. Yeah, I'd like to say, I just thought, what reason I pointed it out, mate, was because obviously after the defeat in at the weekend, you would have thought. I'm sure you thought it as a Man United fan. I'm sure you thought, well, players are going to come out and go for it here, get some revenge, get some payback for the league, and it was a bit disappointing, wasn't it? It was just a bit flat. Like you said, the game sprung into life in the second half, and United players have risen to the challenge and they've got the win. So massive respect there. But I'm just saying it. You know what I mean, mate. When we see our teams get beat against any club, but specifically a game where they're expected to do better and then lose, you expect a reaction. You expect to see a reaction, and I was shocked to not see that reaction from United at the start of the game. But yeah, um, for me, like I say, it was a good second half, but a bit disappointing in the first. But yeah, absolutely, Aaron. I'm sure you're buzzing to get through to the next round, mate. And absolutely, it's United played well, but you have to give credit to Aston Villa as well because they made it a good game. They made it an interesting game, and it was only when they scored that United kind of springed into life at that point. So I think both teams made it a good game, an enjoyable game to watch. And obviously, that's just my opinion watching it as a neutral. But I'm sure if you're watching it as a fan of one of the two clubs, you might have a different opinion. So yeah, Aaron is saying, in my opinion, if Martial can keep fit, he could solve our scoring problems. Every time he's been fit, he's scored. He's been fantastic. Yeah, mate, that's a good shout. To be honest, I'd like to just see him just getting more game time and concentrating on his game because when I remember when he came into the club, there was a lot of talk about how successful he'd be. A lot of excitement about him being, a potential star of the future. And like I said, I think he just needs to get his head down and keep playing and pushing himself because let's be honest, he's a bit underachieved over the years. But he seems to be showing better, and I know he had a good spell out on loan last year. So yeah, like I say, I agree, Aaron. I think he just needs to play more game time, get himself fully fit, and just go for it. The goal he scored was a good goal, and it was good to see him showing energy in the box because I think in previous seasons we've seen him showing a bit too much descendancy. Whatever the word is, you know what you guys know what I mean. A bit too bad attitude in certain games, but he seems to have been learning, so that's good to see. That's good to see. Like Aaron said, just let's hope he can get himself fully fit and keep himself in the team or in the hunt of the squad. Um, Sorry guys if I'm yawning. Been a long day. So yeah, uh, I don't think Ten Hag has quite gotten his tactics from Ajax into the team yet. We can't seem to play the tactics that he did at Ajax. So we played counter attack football. Uh, yeah, yeah, mate. Actually, that's a fair judgment. To be fair, um, I think he's struggling a little bit because he's not got all the players, the kind of players in the squad that he'd want. I think when he gets better, more players in the squad that what suit his style of play or the style of play that he wants to play, I think you might see that a bit more then, mate. But yeah, I can understand where you're coming from. United need a manager that's going to be in charge for a while, so we can actually get a team that he wants. Because let's be honest, um, the Man United team right now is a mixture of players of different managers have brought in. Because there's been such a high turnover of managers at United, the problem that United have got right now is the team they've got is like I say, some a certain amount of the players have been brought in from different managers. So different managers have contributed to building that squad. It's not all one manager's squad. So I think United fans, as much as I know United fans want to see them do well and get back to winning ways and get back challenging up the top of the table, I think you guys just need to be a little bit patient to give Ten Hag time. And I don't think the Ronaldo situation is helping him either. But yeah, that's a cracking observation, Aaron. Appreciate that, mate. So yeah, where was I now? Guys, please, if you could hit that like button if you're just joining us, and consider subscribing if you're new to the channel. See if you like what the Fandom Project is about. Always great to see new fans. Drop your comments in the chat and get involved. Um, where was I up to? Aaron. Yeah, so yeah, with response to what you're saying, Aaron, yeah, I agree, mate. I agree. As you say, it's going to take a little bit of time, but it all depends, doesn't it? Because United is such a big club. You're always going to have an element of fans that will be patient and want the manager to be given time, and then you're always going to have an element of the fans that just want instant success. So it's going to be interesting to see how it goes. But I think one thing's for sure: as much as United fans might not like to hear it, I think if Ten Hag is going to stay and be successful at Man United, then I think the club need to be looking at letting Ronaldo go in the summer. Sorry, in the winter transfer window, because obviously, uh, as long as United is in, as long as Ronaldo is in that team, there's always going to be the pressure of the press constantly asking why is he not being selected because he's such a high profile player. So yeah, whenever he's not playing, Ten Hag is going to come under pressure and scrutiny from the press and the media. So for me, that's an issue that needs to be remedied quite quickly because, as like I said, for me, Ronaldo's a fantastic player, but clearly there is a little bit of disharmony between the manager and Ronaldo. So yeah, the draw is coming up in a few minutes, hopefully, guys. This microphone is annoying. I move slightly and it moves out of place. It feels like it's right in my face, which it is. um, Aaron, I'm worried. I'm worried about Dundee United for after the World Cup. We have three players off to Qatar for it, and they are important to the team. So we could easily struggle in the league after the World Cup. Yeah, I can understand that, mate. I can understand that. I'm kind of worried about it myself, to be honest, because, like I said, I'm a bit concerned um, to see how the World Cup is going to impact a lot of clubs after the World Cup, because there is obviously the realistic possibility that certain players in the World Cup could pick up injuries, and it could affect one or two clubs more than others, and that'd be a little bit harsh for me. Like I said, for me, I am not a big fan of this World Cup, guys. I'm not a big fan of it because, with all respect, I get that other countries want to hold the tournament, but there's a reason that the tournament has never been held in the desert before because it's a desert. There's no grass there. You have to make grass. You have to grow it. You have to protect it because it's the desert. If you don't, it'll just dry up. If the Qatari government leave these pitches now for 3 months, they'll be bone dry and practically like sand within 3 months because it's the desert. So yeah, for me, holding a World Cup tournament and making the whole football world turn on its head just to suit one country having it is a bit disrespectful to the entire football community, as far as I'm concerned. But we all know, guys, don't we? FIFA don't care about the football community. All they care about is making sure they let everybody know that they're in charge. So yeah, for me, not a big fan of it, but it's coming, and we'll get behind it. We'll make the best of it. We'll hopefully enjoy it. But yeah, I've got to agree with you, Aaron. It's not just Dundee. I'm concerned about all clubs and how much this competition could impact the restart of games after the World Cup, and like I said, certain clubs could end up with 2, 3 injuries, maybe more, if they've got a lot of players that are going to the World Cup. Some clubs might only be sending 2 or 3 players. Some clubs might only be sending 1 player. Some clubs could be sending most of their squad. And when you think of likes of Man City and Liverpool, most of their squad is going to be going playing for variety of countries in, or at least more than half of their squad, because they got team of international players. So it's going to be an interesting thing to see exactly how it pans out after the World Cup, and if we see that the World Cup has a massive impact on club football after the tournament's finished. We'll have to keep an eye on that one, guys. We don't know because we've never had a Winter World Cup. This is obviously FIFA's big idea to make the whole football world turn on its head just to suit their big money ideas, which is an absolute disgrace and disrespectful as far as I'm concerned. It's completely disrespectful to every other member of the football community and every other league. But that's just my thoughts on it, mate. But I share your concern, Aaron. I really do, mate. Honest to God, I share your concern. Guys, want to hear from you. Drop your comments in the chat. Let us know your thoughts on the draw coming up. I'll try and catch up with a couple more of these comments now because where was I? Because I think we're going to get to the cup draw in a minute. There we go. There's actually been a lot of smaller teams beating big teams like Man United in the last few years. It's great to see and makes the cup more special. Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. Right, guys. I'll come back to your comments shortly because we're going to get to the cup draw in now right now. So we'll come back to your comments in a few minutes. We want to hear the cup draw and see who is getting who. So yeah, I will let you know what you guys know. Sorry, I'm getting caught up on a wire there. So yeah, guys, I will keep you up to date with the cup draw as it comes in, guys. We just the cup balls are Bournemouth 1, Blackburn 2, Brighton 3, Burnley 4, Charlton 5, Gillingham 6, Leicester 7, Lincoln 8, Liverpool 9, Man City 10, MK Dons 11, Newcastle 12, Nottingham Forest 13, Southampton 14, Wolves 15, and Manchester United 16. So they're all the ball numbers that the clubs will be going into the hat for the draw. Should be hopefully a few interesting games in this one, guys. So we've got Wolves drawn first, guys. Wolves will play Gillingham. So that's the first draw. Wolves beat Gillingham. So the next club out of the hat is Southampton. So So Blackburn have drawn Nottingham Forest, guys. Blackburn v Nottingham Forest. Newcastle United. Yep, they've been having a fantastic season so far, Newcastle. So going to be interesting to see if they can go further in the competition. And they've drawn Bournemouth. So Newcastle v Bournemouth. So that's at Newcastle, a home game for Newcastle. I'm sure they're really fancying it this year with the cup, how well they're playing. And that'll be interesting. It'd be great to actually see Newcastle win a League Cup, to be honest, because they've been starved of such success up there. It'd be nice to see the Newcastle fans have something to celebrate. So next out is Man City. Obviously, they had to get a home draw, didn't they? They're lucky. Um, and the next ball is 9 against Liverpool. So that's a massive game, guys. Man City against Liverpool. And surprise, surprise, Man City getting the home draw. Um, they always seem to get things going in their favour, don't they, at the minute, Man City? It's really quite frustrating. I'm fed up with seeing how much things keep clicking for them domestically. I want to see them do well in Europe, but they've had so much domestic success over the last few years. It'd be nice to see other clubs have some success because it gets quite boring when you're seeing the same club winning the competitions all the time. Next out is Manchester United. So Manchester United going to have another home draw in the next round against Burnley. So Manchester United have drawn against Burnley. The next out is number 11, MK Dons. So MK Dons with a home game. That's going to be a good for the MK Dons to generate some money if they can get a good draw. Against 7 against Leicester. MK Dons v Leicester. So that's an interesting one, guys. We only got two clubs left. Question of who gets the home game. Home game. It's Charlton. So Charlton at home to Brighton. So there you go, guys. So, guys, want to hear your thoughts on that? Want to hear your thoughts on that, guys? Drop your comments in the chat. We'll come back to the chat in a minute. But yeah, for me, the noticeable thing is that I find frustrating with that one, guys, is Man City getting a home draw again against Liverpool. That's a difficult one to take for me for the fact that Liverpool, sorry, Man City just seem to keep getting the luck of the draw in this competition. Um, although, to be fair, I suppose arguably you could argue they're getting a bit more of a challenging run in it this time round with it being against drawing against Chelsea in the previous round, and obviously Liverpool in this round. So yeah, it's going to be. But just is there any team, guys? That's the question, isn't it? Is there any team now that is a challenge for Man City? Really, because we just know that not many teams are going away to Manchester City and getting results. They just seem very unstoppable at home at the minute. There's not many clubs going there to the Etihad and picking up points. So yeah, I'd love to know your thoughts on that one. Where was it? Do you know it's really annoying this? Sorry, guys, just bear with me a second. I'm trying to find where I was again. There we go. Um, So Aaron is saying, back to the chat. Aaron is saying it would be so nice to see Bolton win a trophy. It's been years, and I've always had a soft spot for them. Yeah, absolutely, mate. Like I said, I would love to see Bolton win a trophy because I'm yet to. Well, I've seen them win the playoffs in my lifetime. I've seen them win the playoffs, but that's it. That's all I've seen them win. I've seen it. I've been to the cup final. They got to a cup final. I can't remember what year it was, and I went. That was at Cardiff. That was when Wembley was closed. So I went. My one opportunity to go to Wembley, and it was closed because they were doing the rebuild at the time. So all the cup finals were in Cardiff. But I'm not going to complain because Cardiff was absolutely fantastic. One of my most memorable, best football memories, even though we lost. But one of my greatest football memories was travelling down to Cardiff, going in that stadium with a closed roof. That atmosphere was amazing and unforgettable. But yeah, mate, it would definitely be good to see Bolton win a trophy. Absolutely. Thanks for that, Aaron. I personally don't agree with him taking Maguire. I think Piquero tomorrow should have been picked, but it's a great team. Yeah, absolutely, mate. I'm not too bothered about Harry Maguire being picked. I'm concerned about him being captain myself, mate. Um, because I don't think he's mentally right for it right now. I think they keep going on the media and particularly certain media outlets keep going on about mental health and stuff like that. Well, shouldn't be football clubs be considering that with the criticism that Harry Maguire has had in the last 12, 18 months? Is it really wise that they stick him in the England team and make him captain? So for me, I've no problem with him being in the team. But I do have a problem if they're going to make him captain because I don't. Well, if he makes him captain, it'd be one person, won't it? It'd be uh, Gareth Southgate um, that will make that decision. But I'm sure I read that was who he'd picked for his captain, but I might be wrong. Um, Aaron, England should cruise this group realistically. I don't think Iran or USA or Wales will get close, but it'll be a good battle for second between US and Wales. Mate, honest, I wouldn't seriously. I would not. I would not presume that it's going to be that straightforward. Um, England lost to Wales in the Euros, if you remember the previous Euros, or was it one before that? I can't remember, but they lost to Wales in the one of the Euros, and they also lost to the USA in a World Cup a few years ago, if I remember correctly. I'm sure. I'm sure it was in a World Cup. Um, I'm sure they did. Definitely, it sticks in my head that they lost the game against USA. I might be, unless I'm remembering it wrongly. But the point that I'm getting at is that there is two teams straight away that can cause problems, and Iran, as much as they might not be one of the most best footballing nations in the world, to be fair to them, mate, they will be very motivated to play against England. If I mean, I don't know how much you know. I don't want to get into politics and stuff like that, but there's a lot of countries around the world want to play England for not just for footballing reasons. And Iran, believe you me, mate, they will be really happy to be playing against England in that tournament. And you got to think where Qatar is in the world, just across the water is Iran. So there will be a big, and I imagine there's going to be a big amount of fans coming from Iran to get behind Iran, which might mean that England feel like they played in an away game. So that you know football as well as me, mate. You know that fans can make a big difference in games if you've got a lot of fans behind you and the other team don't. For Iran, it may feel like a home game because literally, honest mate, it's literally where Qatar. If you look at it on a map, where Qatar is, Iran is literally right across the water. It's literally a boat ride away. You could do it on a ferry. You could do it probably. It'd be like crossing the English Channel. It's a bit like that. You cross the English Channel. Well, that's where Qatar is in the world. It's like kind of if they cross the channel, you're in Iraq and Iran. So it's not going to be as straightforward as that. I think that could be a big banana. I'm not sure you're allowed to say that anymore, but it could be a game where England expected to win, obviously, but where they slip up. I was going to say something else, but I'm not sure if that's politically correct anymore, guys. So I better not say it. But yeah, mate, I get your logic in thinking, but no, England have lost to Wales in the Euros, so Wales could always be, cause England a surprise, and they're gonna go for it because it's kind of like a derby game in it, so they're gonna give it everything they've got. The USA, they always seem to be motivated whenever they play England, and like I've just told you, Iran, our country, England, and the UK. Particularly England, because most other countries outside of the UK just see England. They don't realise that it's actually London that makes these decisions. But with it involving politics, Iran and the UK don't get on very well politically, and obviously that can have an impact on the mentality of the football fans in respect of whether how much hatred they have towards a team that they dislike for other reasons other than football. Hopefully, hopefully it all stays friendly and positive. But like I said, I don't see any of them games in that group easy. I know a lot of people will, mate. A lot of people will see them as easy. That England should just be able to, get the results, job done. But seriously, mate, it will not be as simple as that. Wales will give it everything because that's like a derby game. The US will give us a game because obviously England and US quite close culturally, and then obviously Iran are going to give it everything because they dislike a lot about English society, Englishness, if you like, because of politics. And I'm sure they're going to look at it the same way with the America when they play America. So it's none of them games, mate, will be easy. Seriously, there's a variety of reasons why they are potential slip ups for England. So yeah, let's hope the players realise exactly how intense it's going to be in them games, mate. I agree with Neymar. He's a very arrogant in himself. Brazil's attack is looking very good this year. They have a great talent. Yeah, absolutely, mate. I'm a bit surprised that Firmino didn't get selected, which is a bit of a shock to me because I think he's a great. I think he's a great player. I really like him. I like the hard work he does. I know a lot of fans criticise him that he doesn't score enough goals, but I like that kind of player. The kind of player that puts the teamwork in, and he does. He is a team player. So for me, I'm a big fan of Firmino, and I'm disappointed that he didn't get in the Brazil team. But yeah, thanks for that, Aaron, mate. I may have asked this before, but who do you think will win the World Cup, mate? I've probably asked before. Yeah, no worries, mate. I'm not sure if you have, to be honest. I know I got asked it the other week. I think the surprise one that a lot of people may not fancy because they've not been the best, but I think you can never write Germany off. I think you can never. I think they're a good shout for winning. A lot of people shouting for Argentina, Brazil, these kind of nations, and even Spain. But I think whenever the Germans are never, on everybody's lips to win it first time. I think when the people underestimate them a bit, if you get my meaning. I think that's when Germany come to rise to the surface. They rise to the occasion. So for me, I don't want the Germans to win it, but I'm being honest. As a football fan, I think you can't. I think they're in a good position to win it. I really do. But yeah, thanks for that, Aaron, mate. Appreciate all your positive comments there, Aaron. What a top guy. Keeping the chat going and helping me make some conversation. So thank you, mate. Massively appreciated. Dylan, good evening, guys. Sorry for dropping out. I had a dodgy moment with my internet. Yep, absolutely. No worries, Dylan. I've been having a few problems with my own internet, to be honest. It can be really annoying, but yeah, thanks for dropping back, mate. Hopefully You've seen the draw. Let us know your thoughts on it, mate. And like I say, good to hear you've got your internet problem sorted. If you're still there, mate, you might not be because obviously I'm still trying to catch up with the comments. Thanks for that, Dylan. Aaron is saying, I'm pretty sure Ten Hag didn't really want Casemiro, but he's been amazing. He's a player uh, we've needed for years, just a brick wall. Yeah, mate, he's having a positive impact. It's difficult to say what players he wants. I think, like I said, I just hope that United fans are a little bit patient with him because he needs time to get the team how he wants it. But for me, like I said, I'm not liking this battle that's going on with the manager and Ronaldo. That's a recipe for disaster. I think it's just going to cause more disharmony and more problems in the dressing room. So yeah, I'd love to know your thoughts on that, mate. But yeah, like I say, for me, I think that's an issue that needs to be remedied rather fast because you cannot have a situation where you have such a high profile player like Ronaldo and him and the manager clashing, and I don't think the manager's handled it the best. I don't think he has. I think he's maybe his own ego's got in the way a little bit because we all know Ronaldo can have a bit of a bad attitude. He's well known for it. He can be a bit difficult and a bit prickly, but it's what he gives you on the pitch. And when you're dropping players because of their attitude, then you're not. I understand why managers want to do it, and he did it a few weeks back. But is that what's the best interest of the team? That's what you've always got as a manager. That's what they should always be asking themselves. If I punish this player and drop him, is that the best interest of the team? Will it affect the team? Will it be good for him to be out, or would it be bad for him to be out? And that's for me. That's the biggest criticism I have of Ten Hag right now. Is how he's handling the Ronaldo situation. I get he wants to get his own ideas across. I get he wants to do it his own way. I get he doesn't want a player being prickly and causing him problems, and he's trying to make a statement by dropping him. But there's other ways. He's going in all guns blazing for me when he could be handling it much better. He could be taking Ronaldo to one side, putting an arm around him, and having a nice little chat with him to try and get him to play ball a bit more and be a bit more understanding that he's got a job to do and he's going to do it this way, and he needs Ronaldo's support with it. What happened to that? What happened to the good old days when you could pull somebody to one side and just talk to them and be honest? Rather than it being splashed all over the newspaper because the manager's wanting to make statements. That's just my viewpoint on it, mate. But like I say, it's going to be interesting. It's one of the toughest jobs, if not the toughest job in football. United is right now for any manager going into that job. It really is. It's a poison trellis. Is the old saying? It used to be. It's a nightmare because you just don't know. There's just, like I say, you got top players, a lot of egos. There's just so much pressure with that job, and you've got to have a really strong character and personality as a manager to be able to take that job on. Whether Ten Hag has got it, I don't know. But for me, I'm really concerned about how he's been dealing with the Ronaldo situation. And I'm not happy with Ronaldo for creating the issues, sulking like a big kid. I'm not impressed with that. He deserves some criticism, no question. But the fact of the matter is, it's a team game. It is a team game. And what do you miss when he's not on the pitch? That's what you've got to ask. So, yeah, thanks for that, Aaron. Welcome back, Dylan. Absolutely. Cheers, Aaron. Top man. Yeah, I do think Ronaldo has been acting childish this season. Some of the stuff he's done hasn't helped the team at all, and I just feel we play so much worse with him. But we're slowly getting better. Well, yeah, mate. To be fair, you can judge him better than me because obviously you will have watched a lot more United games than me. It's that thing in it, mate. I'm not saying I can't comment on how the team is playing with him in the team. All I know is when he's on the pitch, if you get the ball up to him and he's in that 6-yard box, who else would you want there? That's the question. Who else would you want there? Because we know that, Ronaldo, maybe he's losing it. Maybe he's losing that quality. I don't know. But we all know Ronaldo is capable of, slotting a ball, through barn doors that are closed. That's how good he is finding the back of the net. But yeah, I take on board what you're saying, Aaron. That's an interesting comment if you think that the team is not actually playing that well when he's in the team. And I've heard other people say similar stuff. So yeah, that's an interesting one, that mate. I'll have to try and see and take a little bit more notice when I do get the opportunity to watch United play and see if it's noticeable to me, mate. But thanks for that, top man. I've seen even someone from FIFA someone from FIFA say that bringing the World Cup to Qatar was a mistake. I never expected that having it in the middle of the season. It's just stupid for me. Plenty players already injured. Absolutely. Yeah, that's my biggest concern. Are we going to end up with, a bombardation of clubs really struggling? See, this is the thing, right? Because the FIFA will be able to get around this, because as soon as we will World Cups out of the way, the transfer window opens. So if players come back injured, major players, then players like clubs like Man United or Manchester City, Liverpool, these kind of clubs can go out and, buy a player to just fill the gap, and that's what FIFA will be relying on. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, but yeah, mate, I think the whole thing, we all know, don't we, mate? We all know that the whole thing is about money. It's about money. That is why we're having a Winter Cup, Winter World Cup. It's got nothing else to do with football, nothing to do with what country. It's all about money. That's what it boils down to. We're all well aware of it. Even though FIFA want to deny it, we all know it's about money. Money talks. So yeah, for me, absolutely agree. But no, I didn't realise a FIFA representative had actually come out and said that, though, mate. But thanks for sharing that. So yeah, maybe I'll have to have a nosy, see if there's anything I can find on that that's obvious. But thanks for that, Aaron. Top man, appreciate it, mate. Will Bertham, how's it going, mate? All right, mate. Yeah, I'm good, thanks. Good to hear from you. How you doing? Notice you've been quite busy recently, and I know you've probably working up towards your exams now as well, mate. So I'm presuming you have got quite a bit on your plate at the minute. But yeah, good to hear from you, mate. I'm doing good, and hopefully you are. Will Bertham also saying, Villa in the hat for the next round. a bit of Midlands banter there from Will. Not wrong with that. I'm sure you. I don't need to say, mate. I'm sure you're well aware. Aaron saying, "I'll take Burnley, but they're quite good at the minute." Yeah, absolutely. Mate. I am really impressed with the job that's been done at Burnley. The manager's making one hell of a statement as a new manager, isn't he? Mate, as a player, he was awesome. I don't know if you guys remember him. His name's right on the tip of my tongue, and I can't even think of it now. What's he called now? It's completely gone out my head. I've already told you guys I am absolutely rubbish. No, it's not. No, it's not. That's it. Vincent Company. I don't know why, but I was getting confused then because I was thinking of another Man City player that was just good. But yeah, Vincent Company, massive, definitely. I can't believe I forgot his name. But yeah, I admired Vincent Company as a player, defender, absolutely awesome. I just wished he'd played for a different club. But it's nice. I've nothing against Man City. I'm just fed up with seeing them winning all the time, guys. Football's about a competition. It's about competing. Who wants to see the same team winning all the time? And I'm getting tired of seeing Manchester City win. And it's starting to make me dislike them as a club. Not in a bad way, but just because I'm tired. I want to see other clubs winning things. Who wants to see the same club win over and over? So yeah, maybe Newcastle can start mixing it up a bit and stop Man City winning everything. Um, Obviously, they haven't won Europe yet, but that's the one competition I want to see them win. But it's the domestic football. I'm fed up with seeing them win everything. But yeah, absolutely, Aaron. Top comment. Um, have to agree. Round of applause for that one, because that has got to be comment of the night. To be fair, because Vincent Company has impressed me. He impressed me as a player, and he started off his managerial career doing exactly the same thing. And he's maybe the perfect fit for Burnley. To be fair, because of if you watch how he used to play, he was old school, no nonsense, tough defender. And Burnley is that kind of club that likes to play like that. They like to play by making themselves tough to beat. So maybe Vincent Company is the perfect match, but I'm very impressed with Burnley and what Vincent Company is doing there. So thanks for that, Aaron. Hopefully you like the little bit of atmosphere added there. Aaron, well, I'll be watching that Man City v Liverpool is massive. Yeah, absolutely, mate. There's a few games that I was interested in there, to be honest. But yeah, that's going to be. I'm sure that's going to be one of the most watched games of the League Cup this season. So sure, yeah, it's going to be an interesting one, mate. Absolutely. Good draw. I can see some small teams winning. Yeah, absolutely, mate. I was just seeing if they could remind me of the fixtures. They're not. Just trying to see if they can remind me of the fixtures. No, it's not coming up, but not to worry anyway. Um, but yeah, absolutely, mate. Like I said, I can't get it to show me the remind me of the fixtures. Aaron Hart, Newcastle are massively overachieving. I think they will get top four. They have been fantastic this season. I'm not sure about overachieving. If anything, mate, for the size of that club, I think over the last 10, 15 years, they've been massively underachieving, to be fair, mate. Um, I'm not. I agree. I get what you're saying, and I agree to a certain extent. Maybe they're pushing a little bit above the weight right now for the investment they've had so far to be pushing up into that Champions League. But to be fair, this is what happens when, if you look at what the new owners have done since they've took over Newcastle, they've gone out into the transfer window, mate, and they haven't gone to out like Man City did, looking to sign big, high-profile players straight away. They've gone out and looked to just build a strong team that can compete, and then obviously with doing that in mind of at a later date, potentially adding a bit more extra sparkly players, if you like, if that's the right terminology to word it. So yeah, I understand what you mean. I think they're maybe a little bit, tiny bit overachieving, but not to, but I think that's only because they've been so much underachieving for the last 10, 15 years. For me, Newcastle is a club that should be at least up in that top six. Because they've just got such a loyal fan base, and plus it's a one city football club. It's not like a lot of other cities across the UK where there's two and three football clubs. Newcastle is quite a big city, and there's only one club in that city. So they got a lot of passionate fans that have been starved of any kind of football enjoyment for a number of years now. So from my point of view, I'm quite glad to see that the Newcastle fans have got something to enjoy right now. I'm not saying I'm impressed with their ownership. We'll have to see how that one goes yet, because there's question marks around the ownership. But it is nice to see Newcastle fans finally enjoying football after a long period of not being able to enjoy it. So yeah, that's just my personal thoughts, mate. But yeah, you're entitled to your opinion, mate. If you think they're massively overachieving, that's fair enough. I think they're a little bit overachieving, but I wouldn't say massive. But that's why we love debate, mate. We love debate because football is all about opinions. So I respect your opinion, mate, as well. Um, Aaron is saying, I think the fans will be fired up. I'm interested to hear the fans when England face USA or Iran. It it'll be it'll be a fantastic atmosphere. I wish Scotland were in Qatar. Absolutely, mate. Totally agree. Can't spot on. I totally agree. I wish Scotland was there, and like I said, I think you'd be surprised, mate. We might actually end up in this cup draw where we see that the England Wales game could have the least attendance potentially, because like I said, I think the Iran game will have a massive attendance because Iran is literally just across the water, so I think they're going to have a big amount of fans go. And obviously, the Americans they get everywhere, don't they? So I expect we're going to see a good attendance from the American fans. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting one, mate. Like I said, I don't think it's an easy group for England. I know a lot of fans think it's an easy group for England. But it's a tough group for England, I think, for a variety of reasons. But thanks for that, Aaron. Appreciate it, mate. William Pike, how's it going, mate? What's up, Gaz? I'm good, thanks, mate. How are you? Appreciate you coming, dropping in. Uh, uh, Let me know your thoughts if you got any on the draw, mate. Would love to hear from you. And yeah, thank you. I'm good, and hopefully you're having a good evening, mate. And thank you very much for dropping in and coming getting involved in the chat. Very much appreciated, mate. Top man. Um, Sorry, I'm late. No need to apologise, mate. Absolutely no need to apologise. As I've said to a lot of you guys, whenever you show up, I always respect that you've got other stuff going on. So whenever you guys show up, I always appreciate the support. I never take it for granted. So thank you very much, William Pike. Like I say, mate, never an easy. I appreciate why you're saying apologise because and somebody was arguing, I'm just being nice. I'm apologising the other day when I said you don't need to, but I'm just saying it's not necessary because I always appreciate you guys coming and making the effort to give support to the project of Fandom. So thank you very much for that, William Pike. Much appreciated, mate. Aaron saying Germany is a really good shout. Yeah, like I say, mate. I think the reason I point out Germany because I think a lot of people making World Cup predictions this year are underestimating Germany or maybe not underestimating, but overlooking them. A lot of fans thinking that it's going to be Argentina, Brazil, or maybe Spain or France. Not really considering that Germany can, like to sneak in quietly and win these tournaments when the pressure's off them. When the pressure's on, they don't always do great. But when the pressure's off them, when they get, not a lot of people are shouting for them, that's normally when they rise to the surface and bloody win. And I'm saying bloody win because I don't want to see Germany win another World Cup before England win one. But yeah, or even Wales or Scotland. I'd love to see another UK nation just win a World Cup before bloody Germany wins another one. That'd be nice. So yeah, but thanks for that, Aaron, top man. I feel like Ronaldo being in the squad is a good as well because he's a born leader. He may not be playing great, but think we need a leader like him. Yeah, I think he's a leader. He's a leader. He's a leader in a way. But I don't know. Whenever you got leaders, I always like to see leaders like kind of in defence or midfield players, central midfield players, because they're kind of centrally located in the team, so they're in a great position to inspire teams right through the players right through the squad. When you get strikers and goalkeepers being leaders, don't get me wrong, it's still good, but they're at the back and the front of the team, so they can't influence necessarily as easily young players that need a bit of guidance. But yeah, absolutely, it's a good shout, Aaron. Though, mate, he is a very tenacious player, and he definitely has great leadership skills. Although where he's been soaking recently, you could some fans might argue different, understandably. But yeah, absolutely. Thanks for that, Aaron. Um, Aaron is saying, I agree. I think Ten Hag is a bit of an ego. Sorry, has a bit of an ego. He is struggling because he hasn't had to deal with all the egos in the squad. But I think in a couple of years he will be fine. Yeah, 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 absolutely, mate. Maybe he's having to learn on the job, because like you say, he's a good manager, no question about that. But the question is, how good is he dealing with with a dressing room full of ego players? He's not really had to deal with that up to now. Uh, this is the first job that I'm aware of that he's had to deal with. Players that have you know, big successful players that have done well for themselves. So yeah, but thanks for that, mate. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to get through these last few comments now because I do need to get off. I've got work in the morning and stuff, so got to try and get to bed at a reasonable time. Um, Hour and a half. I feel like the World Cup needs to stop being about money. It's possibly the best competition in football. It's got to be about the heritage, the history, the passion, but it's fed just it's just fed with money, mate. Unfortunately, I absolutely spot on. I've got to agree. It is you're spot on with what you're saying, but unfortunately, the game is just becoming like that, isn't it, mate? It's just becoming like that. It's becoming all about the money, and um, as long as we've got people involved in football that are more interested in the money than the sport, I think that's just a continuation of a problem that we're going to face, mate. But we'll be discussing loads of that in the future, Aaron, because, like I say, we're going to be probably more so after the World Cup and stuff that we'll start looking at trying to do some debates and stuff about the ownerships in football and stuff like that. Because there's just I think we're just in the stages where we're seeing it. We're seeing it in the last few years, but I think it's going to escalate in the next 5 to 6 years, where we start to see potentially a lot more foreign owners buying Premier League clubs, and it could end up where we end up with a lot of clubs in potentially in financial trouble in later years because of greedy people, rich owners that come in wanting to buy success and maybe not in it for the love of the game, but in it more for the prestige that it brings to whatever agenda it is that they have. Because a lot, as we've seen with Mike Ashley, some owners are interested in football clubs for the benefit of what promotion they can get for their other businesses that they're involved in. So hopefully it doesn't go like that, mate. But we'll have to watch. But we like I say, we'll be having plenty more hopefully interesting debates anyway uh, with you guys about finance and stuff like that in football and ownerships, the whole package. So yeah. But thank you very much, Aaron. Much appreciated. Top man, mate. Thank you. I'm I can't. Please. I'm not. I'm sorry, mate. I can't read your name, and I'm not sure. Please for what? But thank you very much for dropping your comment. Sorry, I can't say much more to that, mate. There's not put much substance in it, and I can't make out what your name is. If that is name or initials, it looks more like initials to me, mate. But thanks for that. Um, so yeah. So, guys, thank you very much for joining me today on the stream. A special shout out to Aaron, who has been massively supportive in the chat there, helping me make some great conversation. So, thanks for that, Aaron. Sorry I had to rush through them last few messages, mate. But like I said, I've got to cut it short now to get off. And but like I said, I just thought I'd give this a try. It's only once before I think I've tried. Uh, Cup draw. stream. So I thought I'd try it again because we need to keep trying different things. And plus, it was a good opportunity to come on at a time of the evening that I don't normally come on. So obviously, we want to be mixing it up and getting different times in to allow fans around the world to find us. Because not everybody around the world is on English time or Scottish time or Welsh time or European time, whatever time you want to call it. But you get my meaning. The different hours of the day around the world, and we want to give the opportunity for fans around the world to find the Fandom project and get involved, so that we can start pushing for the direction of the channel we want to get to. But for now, like I said, guys, a lot of what we're doing is about getting you guys to find us and to know about about the Fandom project, and hopefully find new fans to get involved, and hopefully that will like what we're doing. Why is this not going? Sorry, guys. That was so yeah. But like I say, guys, that's about it from me. It's been a good stream. I've really appreciated all your comments. Thanks. So like I say, special thanks to Aaron because, as usual, been a fantastic support in the chat and helped me keep conversation rolling. So that's been massively, massively appreciated. And like I say, to all you guys that have dropped in, thank you very much. And hopefully stay safe out there. We'll be streaming again soon, hopefully. And like I say, oh yeah, and while I remember, guys, just if you could, there is a video that I'll be putting on tomorrow, special video for the World Cup stadiums, some details for you guys that you might be interested in. So hopefully, if you're about tomorrow and you see that uploaded, please do take a look and hit the like button on that. It'd be always appreciated. And hopefully you like that video because, like I said, it took me a couple of days to make it after work. So yeah. I'll just read a final comment from Aaron and then we'll call it a night. Great stream, guys, mate. Enjoyed the footy talk. Thanks, Aaron. Really, really appreciated, mate. And thank you very much for your fantastic and amazing support, mate. Hopefully you have a restful night. And yeah, I'll catch up with you guys very soon. And like I say, take care of yourself out there, guys, and stay safe. That's it for me. Bye for now.